Greetings, it is me again, Mama Paula with Impressive Healing. How are ya? As I promised in the last video, I said we were going to talk about our thinking and why our thinking is so detrimental for us to be in control of our thoughts. Because our thoughts, as we have, been hearing for quite some time now, that our thoughts pretty much create our reality. You are what you think. As a man thinketh, so is he. It's a huge part of the work that we do, of the teachings that we do. We really want people to understand the power of their thinking, the power of their imagination, the power of their speaking, the power of their feelings, and and it's basically like what you think, it creates what you feel, which creates your actions, which creates how you move. And we know that you can think and imagine all day long, but if there's no action behind your thoughts, nothing is created, right? So all three of those components are very important, but it all starts in the mind. Like one of the first, hermetic principles is like God is mind. Your mind is where it's at. And I asked Spirit to kind of like help me today with this concept, and this is what came through. Okay, so this first card is the Ten of Swords. The second card is the Two of Swords. That's the figure right there. And the third card is the King of Swords. And a lot of people are, a lot of, Christians are sometimes wigged out by tarot. And I'm going to just share with you that it's nothing to be wigged out about. It's pictures. Pictures that are, very informative, and they help get your mind, your subconscious mind. They help jump it. They help you figure stuff out. They're just pictures. So the suit that we are working with right now, as you notice, again, it was the Ten of Swords, the Two of Swords, the King of Swords. So these are all your mental capacity, right? These are all your thoughts. So this card really literally puts the fear of death into me. I mean, look at it, right? This card is, look at that black darkness back there, right? And then look at the figure, and you see some blood coming off the man's head. The man has basically 10 freaking swords that are pinning him to the ground, like they're all like through his vertebrae, right? It scares the bejesus out of me, this card. Whenever I work, I have questions and doing a personal spread, and it comes up and it's like, what is going on? What is it? And it's basically like, it's really nothing to be afraid of, Spirit, told me. And what it is like, again, this person is a person who has not listened to their intuition, right? This is a person who has not followed some good wisdom, and they are finding themselves here. They're finding themselves in a state of near death, of destruction, of incapacity. It's like you are unable to move. By all accounts, it looks like you are dead, right? So basically, for me, it's pretty much saying, like, go back to the drawing board. Like, your thinking is what's gotten you here. You are not utilizing some wisdom that you have, or somebody has shared with you. You're not utilizing any of the laws. By the time that we get to this state, there are some things that we could have done differently that would have prevented us being here, right? So you see that black card, that blackness. For me, that represents not only destruction and death, but it's It's again not listening to, failing to heed your intuition. But that yellow that you see right there, for me, it tells me that everything is not lost. Like there's hope, right? So basically, this is really what happens to us when our brain and our thinking rules us, and we have incorrect thinking, if you will. We don't utilize the correct thinking. We don't utilize the correct knowledge. We're not utilizing the correct wisdom. We usually typically end up here, and this is no bueno. This hurts. This card right here, for me, it's a woman. Everything is pretty much blue, so this is a very feminine energy card. It's very feminine for me, and the moon also emphasizes that. I think of a Virgo woman when I look at this. For me, it's like here is a woman who is blindfolded, her back to nourishment, her back to sustenance, her back to water. Yet she is regal, she is calm, she is poised. Even though she cannot see, she is super, super in tune with what is going on around her. She has her wits about her. So this person relies not only on the seen, for me, she relies on the unseen. Okay. So she does not trust necessarily what she sees, but she really goes inside and engages, and she is safe because she trusts that. So that intuition is a very strong thing. And that lets me know that this person's thoughts are actually in alignment with this person's intuition. So there's a balance there. There's a homeostasis there, if you will. Like these two really are working jointly together. Two is also a number of cooperation. It's a number of unity. It's a number of community, you know. So this person's brain and intuition are actually working very, very well together. And she is in a good place, no matter what it looks like. She can trust that she's getting, the proper guidance. That's what this means for me. So when your brain in essence is working with your intuition, you can't really go wrong, right? So it's not your thoughts that are bad. We just have to be in control of them. So this last card here is the King of Swords. I love it when I get this card. It's a king. Kings are in charge. Kings have domain. They're kings of stuff. They have property. They got stuff. So for me, there's a glare here that I'm trying to I can't seem to do anything about it. But this king, right? So the king is a king. He's he, in our patriarchal society. That's what this is. This is where we're at. But if you will note, the king is wearing blue garments. So the king is kind of in touch with his feminine side, believe it or not. And the king, has power. That's that red. The king has authority. And look at how the king is holding that sword, right? Totally in charge of his thinking. Totally in charge of affecting his environment, right? And this is a king who rules very well, because if you look, behind him, life is good. The earth is producing fruit. The sky is blue. There are clouds. Everything looks like it should. I want you to look at something here for me. Can you see back there? So for me, that stuff, it looks to me, okay, like the subconscious. Like this is a king who absolutely has dreams, who absolutely functions in his masculinity, in his masculine, yet his subconscious is quite feminine. You see those butterflies? You see the transformation? You see, I don't know if you can see it. There is a man and a woman dancing back there. Hold up. Where's my finger? Here's my finger. If you look right behind his let me see if I can show it to you. Wait, maybe the other hand. Nope, the other hand. All right, where is it? Right here? There is a figure right there. Basically, it's a man and a woman dancing. Whimsical, frivolity. There's good stuff happening there, like there is imagination. His imagination is very fertile. His imagination is very rich. And he has thoughts, but those thoughts don't rule him, right? He has an imagination because, again, we need our mind, we need our thoughts, we need our feelings. This is how we create, but we have to be in control of them. We have to be king of all of our domain. We have to be in touch with our emotions. Our emotions cannot rule us, and our thinking has to be right. My little brother used to say to me, get your mind right. Get your mind right. Because when your mind is not right, life just is not good. And again, this is this is how we create. This is how we get to create the life that we have. So in what ways, does our thinking impede us? One of the things that I find to be at work against us is whenever we're introduced to new concepts. Because we do things the way we've done things, because we do things the way our parents have done things, because we do things the way our friends around us have done things, we kind of think that the way that we think is kind of like the only way to think, the only way to do things. And a person who is wise will always know that there is something that they don't know. So being open to new ideas, being open to new experiences, being open to the idea that, hey, maybe perhaps I don't know everything about some things, you know, that's a good way to kind of exercise your mind a little bit when you're introduced to new concepts, to kind of like consider them. um, that's one way we block ourselves, we block our blessings. In relationships, when we relate with other people, what we think about people, what we think about, why people do things the way that they do, it impedes us because we see their behavior and we feel a certain way about their behavior, and behavior breeds behavior. So because they act a certain way, and we think we know why they're acting a certain way, then we act another way, in retaliation, and then we have strife in our relationships. So thinking and emotions, all of that kind of like tends to work together. And when we are in control of those things, we can create better worlds for ourselves. And the things that we do at Impressive Healing, the Reiki, the tantric body work, basically getting our energy centers in our bodies in alignment. Like when you see this that again, how it's going on his spine. That is a pathway. That is a strong pathway of energy centers that are in your body. You all your chakras, if you ever heard that term, your energy centers, they all go through your vertebrae. So imagine if your thinking is causing you harm in all those areas and you have blockages, etc., etc. You are not going to be able to function no matter how much you want to. You may not look like that lying on the floor, but you are in essence walking around wounded, and the Reiki really helps with that. The Kundalini energy movement really works with that, with clearing your chakra blockages up. So you want to know more about this stuff, get in touch with me, get in touch with an energy practitioner. And yeah, we can do all sorts of work to kind of get us into that godhood that we're talking about. God is mind. God is mind. It all starts with our thinking. So let's go ahead and get our minds right. All right? Peace. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Life is fun. Pleasure, When you have pleasure, it increases more pleasure that you get. It allows you to be loving to the people around you. It allows money and resources to come to you, and life kind of flows. You know, when you ain't got no blockages, you know, life kind of flows. So, I look forward to working with you guys. Take care.